Hello YouTube, it's me, Lucas, your guitar player. For the past couple of for the last year, like for this year, 2025, I've been playing guitar. Like, just that's my main topic of my YouTube videos. But now I'm gonna take a new direction and review my top 5 favorite books of all time. Now, these are books I loved, I read, and just adored them and influenced my writing as me as a poet and short story writer. I consider myself mainly a poet and a short story writer rather than a guitarist and songwriter and singer and such. And I would like to review not review, just show you people my top 5 favorite books of all time. I'm gonna start with the first one, The Devil in the Flesh by Raymond Radiguet. Pardon the cover, but this one was great. It was, as it says in the back of the book, the author was indeed a teenager when he wrote this. He was a literary prodigy. Radiguet wrote this when he was really young. He died really young. He died at 20 years old of tuberculosis in 1923. He also had a relationship with a writer and film director, Jean Cocteau, and they had a relationship together. They had a romantic relationship. And Cocteau was actually really devastated by Radiguet's death, since Radiguet was his loyal partner, was Cocteau's loyal partner, and Radiguet was most famous for this book, The Devil in the Flesh. This was adapted into a film in 1947. I forgot the director's name. So sorry for that. And the book itself is about this teenage kid who gets involved with a relationship with a woman way older, and that woman is basically cheating on her husband, who's at war in World War One. That's basically what this book is about, as I would just explain it there. In my opinion, it's an 8 out of 10. Prose is simple, but is effectively brilliant. I would say that. The Thief's Journal by Genet. That's number 4. And what I like most about this one is it's based on Genet's life as a criminal, as a thief. And he was taken into prison for his crimes. Yeah. He was a criminal, technically. And he took up writing in jail. And through his life experiences, journeying around Europe, as the book says, he wrote The Thief's Journal and many other books based on his experiences. I also have Our Lady in the Flowers, which I have in my book collection, rather my library, personal library, my small library, rather. And when I read this, I was like I was completely dazzled. And when I read the first pages, I was like, oh my god, this is the best writing I've heard. The prose is so beautiful. And I was progressing the novel. It just got better and better. I think that was probably my favorite part of it, but probably the rest of the book was amazing. That's the last book I read, and yeah, just amazing. By far, masterpiece. Yeah, this is actually number 30. I'm sorry. Rashomon and 17 Other Stories by Ryūnosuke Akutagawa. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is also one of the best books I read. This is number 3. Rashomon in 1702 by Ryūnosuke Akutagawa. Just absolute. Like the stories. My favorite, one of my favorite short stories from this is the nose in a grove, nose Rashomon in a grove. Those stories. And fun fact: Rashomon in a grove was adapted into a 1950 film. Rashomon, directed by the great Akira Kurosawa, who's an excellent filmmaker. Akutagawa and Kurosawa are both very talented, but Akutagawa had a very tragic ending to him. He committed suicide by, I believe, overdosing at 35 years old in 1927. That's actually very sad. Though he inspired me and also the Samurai Dazai. Samurai Dazai loved Akutagawa, and Dazai was very saddened by Akutagawa's death. And he wrote most of these stories in the Taisho period. Yeah. And I would highly recommend you to read this. This is masterpiece of Japanese literature. Oh, yeah. This is meant to. I accidentally put this in number 3. No, this is number 2. I'm sorry. Because Arthur Rimbaud is the poet here. He's my favorite poet by far. The iconic French poet who was a traveler. He was the French poet who influenced a lot of poets. He influenced me, a lot of others like Jim Morrison, Patti Smith, Bob Dylan, Andre Breton, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac. The list can go on. John Ashbery, Samuel Beckett. The list can go on and on. And Arthur Rimbaud definitely influenced a lot of those people, and including me. I wouldn't be the poet today without Rimbaud. I would not have the surrealist tendencies and writing style like if I didn't read Rimbaud, especially The Drunken Boat. It's just especially beautiful. Okay, this is my favorite book. This is my number 1 favorite book of all time. The Sailor Who Fell from Grace of the Sea by Yukio Mishima. Holy moly. This is my favorite book by Mishima. I like this more than Confessions of a Mask and The Temple of the Lone Pavlin. I like this more than The Sound of Waves. Confessions of a Mask. Like, those are... I think I already mentioned Confessions of a Mask. I don't know. But this captivated me the most. I would change my opinion on Mishima's books if I read more Mishima. I have Springs to Know in my personal library, but this... I've read Springs to Know. I've read the Sea of Fertility Tetralogy. And you the people who are watching who haven't read Mishima, you should start with Confessions of a Mask. Since that's his easiest book. And probably you should go on to The Sailor Who Fell from Grace of the Sea. Since this is an amazing book. His prose is beautiful, poetic, vivid. You would just be like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. It's just so, wow. That's how I feel. That's how I felt when I read Mishima. And this video may sound quick, maybe to me, but that's my ranking of these books. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be it. Sorry. That's an apologize for. That's my book ranking of my top 5 favorite books of all time. Goodbye, YouTube.